the regular meeting of the City of Aransas Pass City Council, August 19th at 5:30 p.m. Let's all rise for the invocation. And the pledge of allegiance. Gary?
Our Heavenly Father, once again, we thank you for the opportunity to serve you and the people of this fine community of Aransas Pass. We pray that you give us direction during this meeting to make decisions based on your word and what's best for the citizens of Aransas Pass. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. I'll pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Okay, you want to quorum?
Mayor Gomez.
Here.
Carrie Scruggs.
Here.
Jason Knight.
Here.
Joe Dominguez.
Here.
Randy Haskins.
Here. Okay, now we're going to go to the mayor's announcement, with not the mayor, but the city manager's announcements. The summary of proposal fiscal year 2024-2025 budget and capital improvement plans. Gary and Sandra.
Do we kick it off, Sandra, or?
Yes, and the tax rate. Yes. I'm sorry.
This is a follow-up to our meeting, our last meeting we had, and we were quite a ways away from having a balanced budget. As we indicated to you, we wanted to get back to department heads, ask for their 5%, additional 5% from their budget. They have done that, and as best they can. We started out at, and Sandra can go into more detail with this, we started out at about $9 million, and as of this moment, we're balanced. It was not easy this year, but because of department heads, working with the department heads, they were anxious to help us with this particular project as far as balancing the budget. So it's something we want to go into a little more detail with you on as far as the budget. So Sandra, you want to go into what
Yes.
everybody should have in front of them?
Yes, I did a little handout for you. I left that at your places. Like Mr. Edwards said, we did start quite a bit away. The very first page there is just all our funds. What you see here with our projected fund balance as of September 30th of 2024, our anticipated revenues for each fund, our anticipated expenditures, the anticipated change. Some of them are positive, some of them are going to be negative, and then our ending fund balance for those particular funds. So in the second page is where we have the summary of all of this pretty much. Like Mr. Edwards said, we started with an overall deficit of $9,575,000. We're still at an overall deficit when you add up all the funds, but our overall deficit is $386,889. We anticipated revenues of $28,762,694. Anticipated expenditures are $29,149,583. Our general fund, we're anticipating to have a fund balance of $4.7 million, which is 34.12%. We would like to be between 30 and 40% fund balance, so that's very good. We're at a line item further down in our agenda. There's going to be the issuance of a tax note to purchase some of our capital outlay equipment that we do every year. Our property tax rate, we're proposing a tax rate of .739,215 per hundred. Our current tax rate is .759,365 per hundred. That's a decrease of of 2 pennies, a little bit over 2 pennies, but a decrease of overall 2 pennies. This budget that's presented here before you tonight has one new position only, and that is a school resource officer position. And the only reason that position is there is because the crime control is going to be funding that position 100%. They're going to be giving the money to the city to go ahead and pay for that school resource officer. We are also proposing a 1% COLA for non-exempt employees that did not receive a pay study adjustment that went into effect in 2023. In other words, last year, the current year that we're in right now, we implemented half of that pay study. So the people that got an adjustment due to the pay study this year did not get a COLA. So we're going to do the same thing. So the people that are going to get an adjustment next year because of the pay study are not going to get a COLA, and the people that didn't get anything are going to get a COLA. And this is just for non-exempt employees. Do you all have any questions? Yes. Yes, sir.
That this is the reason we want to keep a strong fund balance for times such as this. Cities normally do not go below 25%. We're at 34.12. And consequently, because we've had a healthy fund balance and still do, we're able to take it down a little bit, and then hence we're able to balance the budget.
Correct.
So I just wanted to look at that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sorry about that. Yes. Yes, sir.
You advise that there's only one new position, that's a school resource officer.
Correct, sir.
Chief, I saw in your deal that you're looking for a executive assistant.
That is correct.
That is already a budgeted position. That position already exists.
How did did the new captain position, did it exist or was that made?
Those are all existing
Where did the
positions.
new captain position come from? Is it Lucas?
I haven't posted yet for that position. I have an interim sitting in that position right now.
Is Luker not coming back?
Luker is coming back. We're finalizing that as of today. I was working on the final details on that.
Did he come back as a captain?
He will not be coming back as a
Not
captain.
going to be able to work?
Not as a
That's,
captain.
Sorry to hear that.
Thanks.
I got it now, but you still have a secretary budgeted.
Correct. That position is technically vacant right now,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a budgeted position that we are looking to fill. We have interviews this week.
Thank you.
I think you have 45 positions, if I'm not mistaken, in your department.
Yeah, I do
Yes,
recall.
I think there are 45 budgeted positions, like, in his department. I just,
That's fine, thank you.
sorry. Anything else?
Yeah, I guess, as far as this tax note that's gonna pay for what couldn't be included in the budget, I know some of those items were on the last meeting. Is this some totally different items that we saw
No,
last
it's the
meeting?
same items.
Is it?
And
Okay.
it's, you'll notice in the budget memo, in the agenda memo, I'm sorry, for that line, for that particular item, it's just all the same items that were there. The items that we discussed, like the fire truck and all of that, that's not included in there. That's why it's only like a little bit over $1 million, because I think the truck itself is like over
Yeah.
$1 million.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yeah, it's the same items.
All
We
right, thank
haven't, yeah.
Anybody else?
I got some questions, I'm confused. Mayor? So if your budget threshold is over your revenue, and we just borrowed $16 million, can you tell me where that fits in?
And the debt service, sir.
Where's
In the
that?
debt service fund, can you give me to the one before this one, Gary, please? There we go. You see Fund 150? That's the debt service. That's where the $16 million is being paid from the debt service fund.
But you're not adding it as your total?
For what?
So you're at 28 million, wouldn't the 16 million be added to the 28 million?
No, sir, because we're not paying the 28 million all at one time. As you notice, the debt service for this fiscal year, we're going to anticipate 4.2 million of those bonds being paid down with
Okay.
interest and principal.
So how much are we paying on the 16 million fire station per month?
Per month, we don't pay per month. We
Per
pay
quarter?
biannually.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me look for my share drive. Okay, here we go. Okay. In 2020, next year in 2025, we're going to pay $1,260,870.83 towards that.
So nothing in 2024?
No, sir, because we just issued it in 24.
So
sir.
then it's not part of that?
Correct.
Okay.
That's for 25. That's the line where it says expenditures, that already includes that. Yes, sir.
And the debt service is 3.7 million and we owe 4.2? So we're gonna be over by about 600,000 just on that?
No, sir. If you see where it says anticipated expenditures, let me look at here.
Yeah, so you're 500,000.
Okay. All right. We're just budgeting what we're going to be paying. Here, our anticipated expenditures is the 4.2 million. That's what we're going to pay in debt for next budget, for our next fiscal year.
So anticipated you're gonna pay 540?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir. This line item right here, where it says anticipated expenditures, this 504 is just the difference between the revenues and the expenditures. That's all that is. So we're saying that we're going to be collecting in taxes at roughly $3.7 million, but we're going to be paying $4.2 million. All right, so that's where you get the 504, the difference between the expenses and the revenue. But we already have a balance in that fund that's going to be able to cover that deficit, that 504.
980?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank
Okay?
you.
Yes, sir. Anything else? Okay, yes, sir.
About the.
Can you come up over there where she's at?
Okay, yeah. I have a question about the hotel motel tax money. Is any of that going to the Chamber of Commerce?
Can I answer that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
The hotel motel tax, if any of it is going to the Chamber of Commerce. It is in
Yeah,
the
you
budget.
can answer that.
Okay, yes, the chamber, the council has agreed, entered into an agreement with the chamber, and they are going to be getting, I want to say, what was it, 55%? 55% of the hotel motel tax goes to them, and the city stays with the difference.
And who votes on the expenditure on the budget here?
The city council will vote on the city's budget. On the chamber budget, that's I'm assuming their board of directors votes on the budget.
Yeah, but the allocation from the city to the chamber is voted on by the city council.
Yes, and they already approved that agreement. Yes, sir.
Now, I like Joe a lot, but he's on the board of the chamber, and that makes him ineligible to vote, I believe.
I have no
That would-
personal gain on that.
That would be
Pardon?
the city attorney.
There's no personal gain on that.
Doesn't matter. You're on the city, the board of directors, so you have you have a say in how the money's spent as a board member.
No.
William, I'm sorry, I don't know your last name, or I would have referred you.
Averback.
Mr. Averback, thank you. I know that you signed up for public comment tonight. That might be a more appropriate place to raise this issue. Right now, we're trying to get a budget presentation, and so I'd really like to restrict our comments just to the budget right now. I know you're signed up to speak later, and we'll be happy to hear those comments then.
You can still talk about budget.
Okay,
Thank you.
so he has say over when I can talk to you guys about this?
No, that guy was.
Right now,
He's not supposed to say
He's
that
the
at all.
attorney.
right now, whoever already answered your question.
just told me
And
that-
if you want to have a discussion about it like tomorrow, you're more than welcome to come visit me and we'll have a conversation through the whole thing. I
Okay,
promise.
sure.
Anyone?
Anybody else?
No? Okay, all right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
Yes.
Thank you, Sandra. That was a lot of work. We appreciate
A lot of
it.
hard work.
You ever be ready to hurt.
Okay. Now we're
I
gonna
know.
go to citizen communications. At this time, the public is invited to address the city council and speak on any matter not specifically listed for public hearing elsewhere in this agenda. Please note that the city council members may not respond to comments or deliberate on topics if they are not included on this agenda. Their citizen will be allowed 3 minutes to address council. Citizens wishing to speak should fill out a speaker request form located on the back of the city council chambers and deliver it to the city secretary before the meeting begins. City council has adopted a policy consistent with the state law that provides defamation, intimidation, personal affronts, profanity, or threats of violence, shouting, unruly behavior, and other similar behavior that may impede or disrupt the orderly conduct of meetings, such as distraction, side conversation. See section 2-1.1 for further details. We're going to go to Mr. Nick.
Okay. Good afternoon, guys. Oof. So again, that's complete bullshit. If I want to personally affront any one of y'all, we can all do it. I don't care about your code. Please refer to the First Amendment right. Okay. I received all officers' training records on Herman. Herman's the guy y'all put in, he was in prison, and y'all put him up with leg wraps and basically tortured a poor man. With that said, the training records were not released from APPD. Y'all refused to give them to me. We all know why. Now, I have limited resources, and I still investigated this better than any of y'all sitting up there, and y'all didn't even really try, huh, Randy? Here's the facts. All officers were trained on body cam and body cam policy. Mr. K-Mac came inside that room, did not have his body cam on. That is against policy. Not a single officer was trained on the leg restraint device that they utilized, against policy. No officers were first aid trained. No officers were trained in the emergency detention policy, which was this about. Herman was suicidal, injured by officers, didn't receive medical treatment, was left exposed, and restrained by cops who had no training. APD decided to self-audit themselves and found themselves not guilty. Way to go, Aaron Jones, for stepping on us, right? That's your officer. I guess he follows your rules, huh, Pound Cake? Now, the policy. This is the APD's policy. General criteria for supervision. If an individual believes that he may be suicidal, which this guy did, the officer shall ensure continual direct supervision. Officers cleared his room, removed his blankets and his bedding because they knew he was suicidal. They did not follow this procedure. Initiating temporary custody. The officer should specifically ask if the individual is contemplating suicide. They did that. And he said 7 times, "I'm suicidal." When they do that, you're supposed to get him evaluated for suicidal intent. Y'all didn't follow policy. Kudos, Pound Cake. Suicide attempt, death, or serious injury. Immediate request of emergency medical. Well, y'all told me he was going to be seriously hurt because he stood on a toilet. Y'all didn't follow policy. Way to go, Pound Cake. Release and transfer. Any known threats of suicide or medical condition, it must be documented. There is no documentation of suicide. Didn't follow policy. Training, suicide prevention. Not a single officer was trained on suicide prevention. Thank you, Randy, for investigating that. Not. Emergency detention policy. This is the policy you're supposed to train your people on. Your fucking job. Your job to make sure he does it. Both of y'all failed at it. It's your job to get rid of these people. Voluntary evaluation. If the person desires for emergency detention, the officer should transport the person to the appropriate facility that is conducted an evaluation and admit the person as per policy. Policy was not followed. As you can see, Randy, I am not a liar. What you, Chief Blanchard, and Officer Jones have done is despicable and unprofessional. Y'all covered up abuse of power. I expect council to do something about it, maybe get Texas Rangers involved, but you won't do it because you're all corrupt except for Jason Knight. He's the only person sitting up there that didn't violate any constitutional rights. Mr. Lawyer?
Now, we're going to go to Mr. Bill.
Hope you get that fixed. Remember, you work for us.
Hi, folks. Remember me?
Yes, sir.
I'm here. Actually, I came here to talk to you about. I'm Bill Averback. I live at 315 West Guile. Okay. I came to talk to you about the use of hotel motel tax and tax revenue. And if you look at, I gave you each a sheet. section 351.101, and you go to A4, it lists what some of the expenditures that can be used, and it says the encouragement, promotion, improvement, and application of the arts, including instrumental and vocal music, dance, drama, folk art, creative writing, architecture, design, and allied fields, painting and sculpture, photography, graphic and craft arts, motion pictures, so on and so forth. Anyway, the point is that this money can be used easily to promote the arts in this town. That we have one guy doing these incredible murals all over town, and in fact he did the signs, the welcome to Aransas Pass signs. That guy the money that was paid for didn't come from the city. However, the city could do a lot more by offering a 50% match on any funds that are used for these purposes. And it doesn't have to be through the Chamber of Commerce, or in this, I don't think it was in this case, but.
It was.
It was? Okay. So this is one way that I was on the Arts Commission in Austin for 7 years, and the way we did it was we had a 50% match on anybody who wanted to, who had a nonprofit status or was umbrellaed by a nonprofit organization. And they got a 50% match if they filled out the forms right, and they went to the commission and it was approved. And there were concerts and all kinds of arts events all over town. This can happen here easily. It can be used for festivals, and that's all I want to say. Except, no, I'll keep quiet. The community garden needs your help too, so maybe we can get something going there.
Yes, sir. Okay, now we're going to go to public hearings. I'm going to open first public hearing, which is public hearing on case number PZ-2024-07, alley abandonment for 1061 North Houston Street.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So on this case, it would be 1061 North Houston. It is an alley abandonment. Yes, please. This is something that has been in the works for a while. This comes from the Paladin RV in both locations. They've been talking with the city for a couple of months and trying to get all this worked out. This is a location of it. This is the north part of the property. It would be off of North Houston. We did send out public notices. 6 were sent out. The initial ones, we didn't receive anything, but at the P&Z meeting, we did have one person that came up and said that she didn't think it would be a good idea. She didn't really give a specific reason. She just said, I just don't think it's a good idea. And later on in the week, a gentleman stopped by and left a note also saying he doesn't feel it would be a good idea, but they didn't give a specific reason as to why. Like I said, this is from the old Paladin RV park. It was plagued with code issues, drugs, vagrancy, police reports. It was purchased by a new owner, and in order to stop the vagrancies to reoccur, he's hoping that we will abandon this part of the property. But they are requiring what we have in the code, which would be to create an easement, which was done, and also to have gates and lock boxes so that city crews, whether it be fire or public works, can access it at any time when needed.
Yeah, because I think a water line runs down it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Down that alley? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Planning and Zoning Commission and staff did recommend approval of the right-of-way.
So I see on,
Marvin's got something to say. Yes.
The reason the lady did not like the idea of having it, how do you say it? Anyway, why should the city give up their alleyways? Because it is the it's not their property, but they have an easement. The landowner should be keeping it clean and getting rid of all the trash and stuff on it. And there's no reason for the city to donate or give them the right-of-way. And so there's going to be a fence there locked up, that the city can get into whenever they need it. But if they have a fence and they keep the alley clean, I don't see why the city should give up the right-of-way. That's just my opinion.
Anybody else? Okay, well then I declare this public hearing closed. Now we're gonna go to, let's see, that one closed. That's it. That's it.
Mayor,
Now
the
we're
next
gonna-
item is a public hearing on the alley abandonment for 936 North Commercial Street.
No, I believe it's to also approve the ordinance.
That'll come after this public hearing.
Close.
No, because there's one for each one. It's two.
The same ordinance,
Close.
one
Public
ordinance.
hearing.
Okay.
Yep, we'll close that one.
Well, that one's supposed to say open somewhere. It says,
Approved or whatever.
Yeah, we're at 6B, which is close the first public hearing you've already done, and open the second public hearing.
oh, and, see, it says, and open second public hearing.
Oh, yeah.
So, there we go.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. I just
Okay.
closed that one. Yeah.
And,
Okay,
okay.
now we're gonna open second public hearing.
Thank you.
Public hearing on case number PZ 2024-08, alley abandonment for 936 North Commercial Street. So we didn't take no action on that item.
Correct, that was just a public hearing.
Keep going. Yes.
Right, just public hearing.
Okay.
One more. Keep going. Next case number, right there. So this is the actual same business, it's just a different property. This is on the southern part, which kind of faces off the North Commercial, and that crosses over onto North Houston, so the property is on both sides of the alley. We also sent out the 12 notices, and it was just those two same people that required about this, that they don't feel that we should close them off, even though we'll still have access to them. For this, the Planning Commission also recommended approval.
Okay. Any comments from the public? Okay. Then I declare this second public hearing closed. Okay, now we're gonna go to approve ordinance number 2024-4453 and ordinance number 2024-445-3, authorizing abandoning an alleyway for 1061 North Houston Street and 936 North Commercial Street, and reserving a utility easement, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing severe notice and penalties, and declaring an effective date. Favor of the council?
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-4453 and ordinance number 2024 and 4453-1.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now I'm going to open third public hearing, which is public hearing on case number PZ 2024-16, request to approve manufactured home park.
Okay. On here, we have a location map. This is on Guile, West Guile, closer to 35. We also sent out notices. We did send out 9. We did not receive any information from anybody for or against this. The property owner purchased the property. It is zoned MH. It's been MH. It gives them the opportunity to do what they want on that as long as it has a manufactured home on it. The only thing is that our code also asks for approval of the site plan before they move forward. And that's, even though they're already zoned for it, that's why they're here. If we go to the next slide. One more. And that will be the site plan that they would like to have approved. And they are present here if you have any direct questions for them.
How big is, oh, it's 5 acres?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 5 acres. So,
On each side.
so each lot or each space is going to be how big?
76 by 145.
Oh, okay.
How much?
76 by 145.
Yeah,
No.
that's like 3 city lots, so.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm just
And there's
curious.
only going to be 10,
Yes.
and these are manufactured homes, like mobile
Critters.
homes,
Yes, manufactured homes.
like mobile homes?
Mhm.
You know the difference between a manufactured and a mobile home?
Not much.
1989. 1989 is when the government actually changed the name from mobile home to manufactured. That gives whoever's buying it know how old the mobile home is. Manufactured after 1989, so these are manufactured homes, not mobile homes. Mobile homes are old ones.
Will
They're
these
the
be,
2x2 ones.
will these be new manufactured homes, or will they be bringing in like older ones?
The owners are here. They can answer that question.
I don't think they can because of the ordinance.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Hi.
Hello. My name is Summer Tucker. My husband and I are the ones that purchased this property. So yes, what our plan is, we've already talked with Clayton Homes and manufactured housing consultants. So our plan is to make sure that these are new homes. We would like to keep them in a similar style. We will have pretty strict codes and regulations for our mobile home community. We want it to be something that would be positive for the community, and that would be something that we will keep the maintenance on. The reason that we kept it to this number was, one, so that we could allot a little more space for the person that rents the lot, but also so that we could make sure that the septic system that we're going to put in is being able to be regulated by the county and not at a state level.
David, how will this do anything with the drainage out there? Because right now the drainage is pretty poor as it is.
I think, what's the crossing street?
There is no cross
I mean, there's nothing for the connecting.
No.
Yeah, I don't have enough information to answer the question. Comes from the lake.
So there's not any city utilities out there now, right?
There is not, no.
So Guile goes from the bypass, does it come back to 35? The other 35, does it come all the way through?
No, it stops right there at McCampbell.
Yep.
And then
Okay,
There's
okay.
fields, and then there's
Okay.
another side to it.
Okay.
So we're between North Commercial and McCampbell.
Okay.
And across the street, there's already a park right there, right? Or
No,
A little
no.
bit further down, isn't there?
Farther down.
Further down.
You can bring the map back up.
The map,
The first picture you showed.
The location notification.
So currently across from us, it was at one point, I guess, it was for sand,
oh, okay.
but yeah, but it's no longer.
No longer.
Oh, that's on the west end of
No, yeah.
McCampbell. Okay, all right,
It's on the other side. so.
Yeah, that leads to the 40 acres that we have.
yeah.
Okay, my issue with this is, and you did this overlay for me, Brenda, can you put a note on here, mobile home park is not on here because it's not an RV park?
Correct.
I don't think there's any difference in mobile home park and RV park, number one, and your overlay. So if you allow this mobile home park instead of an RV park to come in here, then what's to stop people with properties that can't afford to build houses to put a mobile home on their, or a RV, whatever this is, manufactured home on their lots also? If you're gonna allow this in the city, when you said you didn't want it originally, what's to stop other people from doing it now?
Well, the thing is that the definition of an RV and a
I'm
manufactured
talking
home.
about manufactured, if they wanna put a manufactured home on their lot somewhere.
No, but
they
we're
can do it
talking about
right.
this case. At this case, she can't put an RV lot there. It has to be a manufactured
I
home.
done said that, Brenda, that's what I
Okay.
said. If you're gonna allow a manufactured home, RV, or park, call it what you want, over there, inside the city limits, and what's to stop Joe Blow over here on,
Well, it's gotta be that.
Joe? It wasn't enough to be Joe Blair.
Well, that's the only one I can think of.
Well, this
What's
is,
to stop him from putting a manufactured home on a lot that he bought because he can't afford a stick-built
Well,
house?
correct me if I'm wrong, I think we already have an ordinance in place for manufactured homes inside the city limits, and they can only be in manufactured home parks. correct?
Right, and then-
You can't just, somebody owns property on 12th Street, they can't just go put a mobile or a manufactured home there.
It's not just an individual.
Yeah, and this one's already zoned for it, Randy, and that's what's different. If somebody wanted to build an RV park and it was zoned agricultural,
That person cannot afford a house, they can put it at your spot.
yeah,
Years ago, y'all put a zoning in, you all was supposed to, I think y'all did it, discontinue manufactured homes being put anywhere unless they're in a park.
Correct.
You know, you go down to DeWitt, you go to the end with that, you know, you can't put a manufactured home there no more. Y'all stop that, and that's good.
That was for
What's to
RVs, though,
determine
not.
the size of the park to put a manufactured home park in?
I think you can't,
5 acres.
Huh?
5 acres.
That's the minimum.
5 acres.
That's the
5
minimum.
acres.
Mhm.
I think you're opening yourself up for a can of worms, but
5 acre, how many homes?
10.
Yeah, they only got 10.
well, they've also got extra space on there where the trees were to add on, correct, right there on the right-hand side?
No, part of that would be, one side would be a drainage field. And then the other side, because we would already be at our max for what we would be able to have for the septic that we're putting in.
On this open side where the circles are?
Right, so the other side, the one side would be a drainage field, but then the other side, there's a possibility that we might put our maintenance building there, but there wouldn't be an option for us to put more mobile homes there, because this is the size that would be for the septic that we're putting in.
Still say you're opening yourself up for a can of worms right there.
Carol?
I don't know, and I don't think this is working, but I don't know if this is pertinent or not, but as a former government employee who used to deal with this type of thing, there is a legal difference between a manufactured home and a mobile home or an RV. And you'd have to go back into FMHA rules and regulations. Thank you.
Carol, I'm not arguing the point of a manufactured home, mobile home, or an RV. They say it's a manufactured home. RVs are called, the mobile homes are called manufactured homes now, and they're built damn near the same way. The same way.
A manufactured home has to meet FMHA rules and requirements, which means it qualifies for loans, has to meet certain property requirements, but yeah, there is a legal difference. And I'm not for this. I voted against it, just for your information. But there is a difference.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. I just didn't do my wording right.
How much land do you need for septic tank?
You can put a septic tank on
Half an acre.
Yeah, about
The
that.
state changes from 3/4 to half. 10 of them.
Mayor, if I can make a recommendation for, just to try to keep the conversation smoother, perhaps if you could ask members of the public who want to participate in the public hearing to step to the podium, it might prevent some of the side conversations and allow us to stay on track a little better.
Myron, do you want to say something about that? I'm sorry, not Myron. This is Jerry.
No, I was just asking about septic tank. I know the state changes to a half acre, 2 years ago, it used to be 3/4 homes. You just asked me a question.
But for the public.
Oh, I understand.
I'm sorry, my bad.
No, I'm back to you.
Okay.
I have a question. Is this zoned MH now?
Yes, sir.
It is?
yeah.
It's zoned to MH
Yes.
already? Okay. That's the only question I had.
MH.
Mobile home.
That's
Mobile
what,
home or manufactured home?
It's the same.
Manufactured. It is not the
Okay,
same.
I'm gonna close public hearing number 3. And we're gonna go to approve ordinance number 2024-4458, allowing the development of a manufactured home park located near North Galt Avenue near Bypass 35, more particularly described as Aransas County Appraisal District Property ID number 14171. Burton and Danford, Block 313, Lot 26, Acres 5, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severance notice and penalties on declaring an effective date.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-4458, allowing the development of a manufactured home park located near North Guile Avenue near bypass 35.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, now we're gonna open fourth public hearing. Is public hearing on case number PZ 2024-17, rezoning from HC High Commercial to GB General Business.
So this property owner right now has a cottage located on this property. We sent out notices, 8 of them. None of them came back with for or against. They're wishing to sell the property, and they've becoming issues with people wanting to buy it, but because it's in heavy commercial, because it's in heavy commercial, they can't change it. So it's a small 2-bedroom, 1 bath. People want to buy it and extend the house, but residential is not allowed in heavy commercial. And so the only way to switch that is if we put it into general business, which there is general business across the street and on the other side, which would blend in perfectly, and they would still be able to do a residential and extend if someone purchased the little property. The Planning Commission did recommend approval for this.
Any questions from the public? And I declare this public hearing closed.
I approve ordinance number 2024-4459, changing the zoning from high commercial to general business for 103 South Arch.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We're going to open fifth public hearing. Public hearing on case number PZ 2024-19, request to approve a conditional use permit for an equipment rental business.
So this one is located around where the old flower shop is. Right now it is in general business, which allows a lot of retail and services, but there's a little glitch in our code that says they require a conditional use permit if they're going to be a tool rental business, even though the general overlay allows it. And so that is why they are here. They have followed all their information. We did send out notifications, 10 of them. We did have one gentleman come in and speak with us, and he says he is for this development to come in. They're right next door to them, and I believe he's here. Steve, did you want to say anything?
No, I'm just
Okay.
making sure you're okay.
Thank you. He would like to bring it in. The business name is Equipment Share, and I believe they're very used in the community, and I believe we even use them a lot for our own services, for our projects. They're thinking of bringing in about $750,000 in monthly revenue, 20 new full-time employees. They'll have a $30 million fleet inventory, and their membership and support of the San Patricio EDC. So they're actually zoned for it. Like I said, this is a discrepancy, and I'll bring it in next month as a text amendment to remove the conditional use permit for tool share. And then we have also a site plan. If you want to scroll down, Gary. Further down. Right here. So it will come in.
I will say something if it's okay.
Sure.
You like? I have the little.
Oh, you would have come up?
Oh, sorry. I have the property at 2104. It used to be Shirley's Bar, and it's been there 70 years. And this is a tool rental business like United Rentals, and there's nothing like that north of the bridge. I'm a real estate broker and keep up with all this. And it would really benefit Aransas Pass greatly, especially in inclement weather like hurricanes, or because we were scrambling for, people having to drag their equipment up here and all that. But the group that's moving in or wanting this is just first class. It really is. I have only had one occasion to meet the gentleman, project manager, when he was here, but I lived there by default. Harvey tore up my house in Rockport, and I bought this place and live in an RV in the back. But I hope it is approved, because we need this place in Aransas Pass big time.
I'm surprised it's taking this long to get something like this around on this side of the bridge.
And
That's a great business. Yeah.
Planning and Zoning Commission did approve this as well.
Okay, any other questions? Well, I declare that public hearing closed. So now we're gonna go to approve ordinance number 2024-4461, granting a conditional use permit for the service of a tool rental business to be allowed on 2106 West Wheeler, more particularly described as San Patricio County Appraisal District, of property ID number 41631, TB McCampbell Subdivision, Block 1, PT2R 5.306 acres, Aransas Pass, San Patricio County, Texas.
I moved to approve ordinance number 2024-4461, granting a conditional use permit for the service of a tool rental business to be allowed on 2106 West Wheeler.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, public hearing number 6 has been tabled. The other one has been tabled, so we're gonna go to 7. I'm gonna open up 7th public hearing, which is public hearing on PZ 2024-13, Chapter 29, Article 4, Division North, and 2, Use of Public Sewer, Section 29-80, 83, 86, 96, 87, 102, FOGO.
Thank you. So this is a text amendment that came to us from Public Works. We have some sections on here talking about sand traps, but there are a lot of issues that are missing. So if we scroll down to the case number, keep going. Next. Right there. So when you see everything in blue is what's being added to be able to give this an opportunity to be more detailed and explain what needs a sand trap, how it needs to be maintained, and if they're not, and how we can help them continue, either look for it, make sure it gets done, or if we need to find them if they're not working with us to get it updated and fixed, then this includes fines as well. And there are about 13 pages of it, and if you can see, if you can scroll down through all of them, everything in blue would be brand new. And here's just some of the text, and we're just changing some verbiage. But like I said, this goes back to only saying that these are sand traps that are needed. If you look at the picture, this is what it will prevent. It will prevent our pipes and water and wastewater to be accumulated with all this waste that goes through when it's not done correctly.
I've seen some of the pipes that look like that too.
Yeah. And Planning Commission did approve this for approval.
Any questions? Okay, I declare this public hearing closed. So we're gonna go to approve number 2024-4455, approving the fats, oils, grease, and discharge text amendments, amending the city's charter 29, Article 4, Division 2, Use of Public Sewer, Section 29-80, 83, 86, 96, 97, 102, and declaring an effective date.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-4455, approving the fats, oils, grease, and discharge text amendments, amending the city's charter 29, Article 4, Division 2, Use of Public Sewer, Sections 29-80, 83, 86, 96, 97, 102, and declaring an effective date.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to number 8, public hearing. I'm gonna open number 8, public hearing, which is public hearing on PZ-2024-14, Chapter 24, platted and subdivisions, Article 1, in general section 24-27, development services fees.
Okay. So the fees you see in black are the ones that we have in use right now, but there is some verbiage that doesn't make it clear. So that's where we're scratching out, changing the price, putting them in the correct location, showing how there's base fees for certain applications plus whatever the application cost. And this is not much to make profit, but if anything, it's just to be able to keep us in the blue of being able to put newspaper notices, sending out all the notices we send out to properties within 200 feet, and for just our general paper, light, everything that we use here in the city. We're not going to get much revenue from this, but if you scroll down to the next page, there are a lot of applications that we do not charge for that we would be starting. So applications for MH parks, subdivisions, RV parks, rezonings, voluntary annexation, development agreements, special district petitions. You scroll to the next one. subdivision improvement plans. So everything that we pay out to a contractor to review, if we don't have a person to review as far as engineering, we have to send out to a contractor. We're not receiving any money to be able to pay for that contractor, so that puts us in the red. So every time there's maybe changes, we send it back to them, and then we send it back to our contractor. That's another fee that we don't get. We get charged, but we're not passing that charge down to the clients to be able to cover that. There's the acreage, SIP, which are the subdivision improvement plans, also the resubmittals, site development plans. The additional applications, those don't require any base fees, so if they need a zoning verification letter verifying what zone their property is in, right-of-way abandonments, development agreement amendments, street name changes, comprehensive plan amendments, appeal we already had, we just didn't have it in the right location, so we moved it down, and then the flood development ground permit that was put aside for right now. That one's also on here, so we might need to scratch that part if we pass this until next time.
So the only question I had on this, if I recall from looking at it earlier, was on the subdivision improvement plans and site development plans. Are the fees here are much less than, can you go back up one? It was what, well, just answer my, are those two less than an individual that is getting services for 100 acres or so?
I don't understand the question.
There was a question I had. Go up one more, Gary. Remember how? No, not, okay, that's a plat appeal. Maybe I was. I'll find it and ask you later.
Okay.
Never mind.
And Planning and Zoning Commission did approve this for recommendation.
Any other questions? I declare the public hearing closed, and we go to approve ordinance number 2024-4456, adjusting verbiage and creating new fees in chapter 24, platting and subdivision, article 1, in general business section 20-27. Development service fees incorporating platting, base fees, other application fees, appealing conflicting ordinance, providing for severance notice and penalty, and declaring an effective date.
I move to approve ordinance number 2024-4456, adjusting verbiage and creating new fees in Chapter 24, platting and subdivisions, Article 1, in general, Section 24-27.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we're going to go to open public hearing number 9, public hearing on PZ 2024-15, Chapter 26, streets, sidewalks, and other public properties, Article 1 in General Section 25-1, closing and abandoning on petition posting notices.
So this is more of an update and a cleanup on it. The ordinance says if you're going to have an abandonment, you have to post it on the front of the building and another public location. And nowadays, what we require by state law is that we put it in the newspaper and you give everybody within 200 feet a written notice to their property. So this just brings us into the 21st century on how we usually do things right now. And Planning and Zoning Commission also did approve this.
Any questions? Well, I declare the public hearing closed, and we're going to go to approve number 2024-4457, authorizing creating procedures for Chapter 26 streets, sidewalks, and other public properties, Article 1, and General Section 25-1, closing or abandoning on petitions, posting notice to a right-of-way, abandonment, repelling conflicting orders, providing for severance notice and penalty, and declaring an effective date.
Where are we at? On approve. I move to approve ordinance number 2024-4457, authorizing creating procedures for Chapter 26 streets, sidewalks, and other public property, Article 1 in general.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to open public hearing, number 10, public hearing on PZ 2024-18, Section 10, use of land and buildings 10 to 200 schedules of uses, 10-214, storage, processing, and commercial uses.
So this actually comes from code enforcement. They have had plenty of issues of having people live in RVs on their properties when they're not zoned for it. And so this just gives them a little bit more teeth to say that the RVs cannot be hooked to water or wastewater. And so if they are hooked up to water and wastewater, then code enforcement can give them a warning to get it disconnected, or later on can cite them for it.
Is there a conditional uses of this, like when a hurricane hits and that's all they got to live in, or the other day for 2 days I was without an air conditioner, so I stayed in my RV. Is there things that can be done, or is it just blanket, you can't do it?
You can't do it without a conditional use permit. So they would have to come through. Yes, sir.
I gotta go get a permit from you because my air conditioner went out and I'm spending the night in my RV.
Mm-hmm. You would have to go through the conditional use permit process, yes.
And that would be taking me how much time?
About a month.
About a month? See, Brenda, some of this is ridiculous. You know, the hurricane hit, I stayed in my mobile home or my RV for a month. How many other people did that?
And a lot of people came and got the conditional use
But
permit
how
to be
many
able to
people
do
did
that.
Is there
I
a
don't know.
difference if we're in a disaster area,
Mhm.
like Harvey, for example? I mean,
I thought the council.
Yes.
made a
yeah, right. So,
We allowed that after Harvey for many years, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
So is it still allowed?
if it's a disaster.
What
No.
about when the electricity went out here? We were all without electricity for a while.
That would all be up to council. Every time there's some type of a disaster, council would be the one to be able to authorize that.
That's an immediate problem.
Right. They can immediately say
It's
that.
not wait till the council meeting happens to.
No, we scheduled meetings.
No, you can call it,
constantly.
you can call it emergency
Disaster
meeting
time.
and fix that.
I didn't know about that. But the same thing still goes as the,
So what does it take on your RV? It's just electricity, right? I mean, it has a
That's
holding
right.
cell,
yeah.
so you're not really hooked up to plumbing.
Well, then there you go. That's the whole deal.
So is that an issue?
Mhm.
No.
Not the electricity part, it's the water and wastewater.
So
Because
if you
that can
don't use
cause,
water, you're okay.
if you're just hooking it up for electrical purposes, yes. It's only when you hook up for water and wastewater, because that can be a contamination issue for the rest of the city if someone's pouring something off wrong, or they are also putting sewage onto just public property or their private property going onto public property. And so there's been a lot of issues. So that's why code enforcement asked to put this in there, so they won't be able to do that.
So when your emergency case is like his situation, I mean, it's just electricity. You're just using the electrical and AC, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So code enforcement comes along, and are they gonna
Yes, sir.
check that out, or are they gonna
You have a
say-
better chance getting caught than me growing hair.
No,
Because
no,
if everybody left town because of the hurricane, who's gonna be here to look for you?
That's not true, sir, because I was to check on for it.
You broke the law.
And I guess I did.
Got you, brother.
And I just told you I did it. And again, another can of worms.
And Planning Commission did approve this for recommendation.
Okay, I declare,
Go ahead.
I declare public hearing number 10 closed. We're gonna go to approve ordinance number 2024-4460, amending verbiage in section 10, use of land and buildings, 10 to 200 schedule of uses, 10-214, storage, processing, and commercial uses by adding numbers 2021 RV stores and residential and 2022 RV stores and commercial with defined parameters but alternating numbering, repelling conflicting ordinances, providing a severe codification, notice, and penalty, and declaring an effective date.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-4460, amending verbiage in Section 10, use of land and buildings.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, now, we're going to go to December, which is monthly departmental report submitted and provided in the agenda package. Okay, now we're going to go to the consent agenda. No discussion is anticipated on any of the items in this section because they are routine business, were included in the budget adoption process, or have been previously discussed as a staff report or discussion item. These items will be considered collectively by a single vote unless a council member requests an item to be removed from the consent agenda.
I move to approve consent agenda items A, B, and C.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Discussion.
What?
I want to discuss.
Oh, go ahead.
On August 7, 2024 workshop meetings, there were several things that were brought up. One of them was change the meeting time. I believe it was supposed to be set for this meeting.
It was, and it's our mistake, we did not put it on, so we'll put it on the next.
You want to put it on the next one? Okay.
Okay. We got a first and a second, all of,
We have a first.
A second.
A third.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to action items, which is approved resolution number 2024-1054, proposed ad valorem tax rate of not more than 0.739215 per hundred, valuation for fiscal year 2024-2025, and setting the public hearing date for the City of Aransas Pass proposed fiscal year 2025 budget and proposed fiscal year 2025 ad valorem tax rate on September 16, 2024, with adoption of the FY 2025 operating budget and ad valorem tax rate on September 16, 2024. Mr. Gary.
You're just approving the date.
How much would we have to cut out? This is a question for Sandra. I think I'm close to my math, but you're probably better. If we went to 73 cents flat, what would we have to cut out? Around 90,000 and some change?
Hold on. I think I gave you a number of, what, 100?
103.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood, yes. To go to a 73 cent flat, yes.
Would that be possible?
Nothing is impossible, but I would say let's try to keep it here. It's been a very long budget process. This is what I'm
We
going to.
proposed several deals about cutting, like on the pickups for the meter readers or whatever, changing that to a small car or something. Or smaller vehicle.
That's on the tax note. That doesn't.
Yeah.
That does not affect the budget.
Well, we didn't affect the tax note.
It will affect the tax note, and we'll talk about that at that time. Yes, Chief Blanchard told me what you had said about that, so we are proposing something different for that. But yes, that won't affect what he's suggesting though right now.
So can we get it down there?
To what?
So can we get it down to flat 73 cents?
As I said,
We
we're
can-
going to have to cut further into the fund balance. Right
Correct.
now, we're at 3412 or something.
Yes.
And
How about 73.5? We'll negotiate.
We're just setting the let's do this. We're just setting the public hearing
Yeah.
date. We can give you options of what I don't, like right now,
Yeah.
you're catching me off guard.
I know.
We can most definitely give you options of what that's gonna look like to lowering it to the flat 73 and 73.5. Is that
That'd be
correct?
great. Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just for clarification for everybody, I'm sure the audience is wondering about this as well. This resolution does not set the tax rate.
Correct. We're
Right.
not
That
adopting
will
it.
not happen until September 16th.
Correct. Yes, right.
This is just, the administration is required by law to propose a tax rate, and you're accepting their proposal.
Right.
It can be changed later. You can change it down, you can't change it up from here. So this is setting a cap on what it can be.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. So we'll work towards what that would look like.
Okay.
And then we can give you what that's going to look
Okay,
like, how much
appreciate it.
that's going to cost us.
Being
Okay.
new here, I don't know when you want to discuss this stuff and when you don't want to discuss it, so that's why I bring it up.
Oh, my door's always open, yes. No, if you, you can always just call, that's fine. But yes, no, I will go ahead and get this to Gary.
We need to come up with options for you, so just going one thing.
Yeah.
in front of you.
Yes.
We'll look at several ways to approach that.
Okay.
and see what's going to come up.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 2024-1054, proposed ad valorem tax rate of not more than .0739215 per $100 valuation for fiscal year 2024-2025, and setting the public hearing date.
Second.
Mayor, this item requires a record vote by state law, and so if you'd mind having the city secretary poll everyone individually for their vote.
Mayor Gomez? Aye or nay? Aye. Councilmember Knight?
Aye.
Councilmember Scruggs?
Aye.
Councilmember Dominguez?
Aye.
Councilmember Haskins?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna go to approve ordinance number 2024-4462, authorizing the issuance of the City of Aransas Pass, Texas tax notes series 2024, levying an annual ad valorem tax within the limitations prescribed by law, for the payment of the applications prescribing the form, terms, conditions, and resolving other matters, incidents, and related to the issuance, sale, and delivery of the applications, authorizing the execution of a paying agenda, register agreement, and sale documentation, comply with the letter of representation previously executed with the depository trust company, authorizing the execution of any necessary engagement agreement with the city financial advisor, and provided an effective date.
Okay, this is the item that Councilmember Haskins was referring to with the tax note with the trucks. We heard you. We are looking at possibly purchasing a used vehicle, not necessarily a new vehicle. I know the concern is on the cost of the new vehicle. I spoke with the utility manager about the vehicles. They do require either 4x4 or all-wheel drive is what I was told, because of the alleyways, and there's some areas in town that they're going to have issues with something that's not either 4x4 or all-wheel drive. So we are looking at possibly purchasing a used vehicle that will be able to fit our needs. They do need something that'll be able to carry their tools, because they do have tools that they carry with them. But we are not opposed to we're not going to die on the hill of just getting a new vehicle. Like if we need to, we'll go ahead and we are looking. I started looking on Friday, but I couldn't find anything Friday. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing there today or tomorrow or the following day. So we are going to be looking at purchasing something of a used.
What amount are you looking at changing that down to?
I don't know what amount, because I don't know what's available out there. But I will say this, that whatever is left over, if there's anything else that the tax note does cover for us to be able to purchase or procure with that money, that will be available for those purposes.
Well, that wasn't the only thing. There was a few others that I guess we'll discuss in that next deal.
Okay, very good.
Trying to get it down.
Okay. Mark?
Hello, Mayor and Council. My name is Mark McCliney with Samco Capital Markets. Jack McCliney with Samco Capital Markets is handing out the proposed debt service schedule for these tax notes. Because you all, and we've talked about this before, have such a good bond rating and good fund balance and history on operating the city, we're able to go to a private mutual fund and sell these directly, as opposed to how we had sell the COs, where we had a public offering, we got bids, and had to pay for bond rating as well as the underwriter that bought the bonds. So we were able to avoid the middleman, so to speak, and place it directly with this mutual fund. The rates that they offered were $395 for the first year, $380 for the second maturity, and $365, which is roughly speaking a $380 average interest rate, and that's a fixed rate, be payable over 3 years. Tax notes are becoming more and more common for cities as we deal with the rules that the state legislature is proposing on cities on how to operate the M&O and the INS tax rate. So the first page is the combined. The second page is the general fund portion, because we still want the general fund to cover its share and the utility fund to cover its share. And the third page is the split that would be paid for by the utility fund. It is for short-term type financed items, things that you can buy, you could lease, or purchase through these tax notes. Again, it's being sold to a private mutual fund called Presidio Short-Term Tax Exempt Mutual Fund, and they're very much looking forward to getting these bonds. Happy to address any questions. Something that did come up on the questions from Mr. Haskins. If you borrow and you change projects, we still have to qualify under the projects or the items that we're purchasing under these equipment type items. If you have money left over, the other option is paying down the debt. It can go to help make the first payment. So if for example, there's $22,000 left over after purchasing all of this, the money can't be just used for anything else. It can't go to the general fund. The one option is those type items that are listed, or to pay down the debt.
What's our overall bonded indebtedness at this current time?
Okay, that's great. Unless you have it easily, I do have that. I do have it, I just have to pull it up.
Because I know we got this other, I guess, Gary, that last one we talked about where it was in 2 phases for the street package we were talking about the last meeting. I'm just a little worried about piling more debt on top of more new debt.
Total right now, after the last bond issue that you did, is $32,645,000.
Okay.
So this will take you from $32,645,000 to $33,745,000, and that's as of right now. Now, what that does not do is split out what is utility fund supported. So we lump all these, just like this one is a bond issue, one issue, but internally we're paying for the general fund and the utility fund. So if we, again, it just takes me a second to pull this up. The utility fund of that 32 is supporting $7.83 million. So the net is $26,380,000 on the general fund.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Thanks, Mark.
Does that include what? That does not, because that's paid for by the sales tax. This is only ad valorem
Yep.
and utility system supported items, excludes anything that's supported by the MDD.
Do we have previous bonds out there from the previous years that we still haven't paid for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every bond issue you have, I mean, your oldest bond issue is 2007. It was issued for 20 years, and that'll be paid off in 3 years. So each year, just like a home mortgage, you're paying down a part of that principal each year. And so each year, you're paying the loan amount down.
I understand that, but how much, what's the balance of is this that 32 million is the balance of the bonds that we've got out right now?
That if you added everything together right now, that's what you have outstanding, $34,210,000.
34 million.
Well, 34 is as of when we sold those last bonds. What I told you just prior to that is what is currently outstanding, because you've paid some stuff off since that was sold. So that was the first, okay.
I'm very sorry. I was prepared for the last meeting, and I brought my stuff. I'm sorry, Mark. Okay, so total principal outstanding debt is $32,320,000. Because like Mark said, we made payments in August. General fund debt is $24,745,000. Water and sewer fund is $5,395,000. And MDD is $2,180,000. That's how it all breaks down. The city will end up paying all its debt by 2044, the water and sewer fund by 2034, and the MDD fund by 2028. I know you're concerned about the possibility of those projects that we talked about. All of that has already been taken into account when we worked on the tax rate and the debt capacity of the city. You know, we would not be presenting to you all tonight something that would put the city in a financial situation that it wouldn't be able to afford, and we would need to raise taxes later on to do that. That's not something that we want. We've been very conservative, and the council has been very conservative on issuing the debt and working on lowering the tax rate, so we want to continue that trend.
Oh, yeah, I know you guys have been doing a good job. I've just got everything, this national chaos that's hoping something doesn't take a turn to the south and it bites us hard if we don't make the right call on spending money like this.
And like I said, I want to assure you that, yes, we've already taken all of that, the potential of issuing that and other debt at the beginning of the year and all of that into account when we're working on the tax rate. We're working on presenting something that the city can afford and still do the tax rate decrease, and will not be in a predicament that we won't be able to pay our debt in years to come.
And I,
maybe not each year, but over a short period of time, we began losing certain amount.
We are dropping, okay, yes. Do you have that?
I actually
You
have
do?
this number.
Okay,
So,
okay, thank you.
excluding this possible issue, in 2025, this upcoming fiscal year, $3,766,000. The following year, it drops to $3,667,000. The following year, $2,695,000. So a lot of the council's been here a long time. You hear me talk about stair steps a lot.
they'll start retiring year
You
after
start
year
getting, and
after
it
year.
goes away.
Yeah.
And so, in 4 years, you're down to $1.8 million annual payment from the $3.3 million now.
So that's why when we issue the debt,
$3.7 million now, sorry.
we can structure it in a way that it'll fall within those stair steps. And it'll be in the steps, so that way you don't have to increase, you don't see the spike. You're able to maintain and continue to hopefully decrease the property tax rate within, so when we finance it, we can finance it to, our payments to fit within that, so we don't see that drastic downward spiral or spike up.
And I can't remember offhand how many city vehicles will be included in this tax note. I can't remember right
Can you
offhand.
bring the memo up? I'm so sorry. The memo for my agenda item, I did not bring, let me bring it up real quick,
Okay.
hold on. Public, how many are you getting?
I would say 4.
Okay, Public Works is getting 4. Public Works is getting 4
Okay, so
vehicles.
y'all,
Yes.
y'all are.
We're
okay,
getting, they're getting 4 vehicles. We're going to get 1 potentially used vehicle. PD is not getting any vehicles in this issuance. PD has found funding for their own vehicles. Hold on, let me bring the agenda memo up. I do apologize about that. No, sir, no, I didn't bring my memo, and that was my fault. I didn't give it to you, sir. Hold on. And I believe that we're buying some other equipment as well. Some, oh, thank you, Mark.
Little bitty.
Yes, okay, Mark found it.
Oh.
Okay, so, let me see, 1, 2, 3, okay, yeah, they're gonna get the 4, we're getting a tracked skid steer, a mini excavator, a backhoe, some IT firewall that we need for the IT department, for both the PD and IT, some software for the planning department, cameras at the Little League Park, the replacement of AC at the Aquatic Center, some upgrades at the Aquatic Center as well, another backhoe, a zero turn mower, correct? For you, yes, a Skag, yeah, that one, yeah. And the side boom, no, we took that out. Yeah, sorry about that, sorry. We talked about it.
I know. Because it's in front of me, I'm trying to go.
You were in that meeting, No, we took that out. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about that. Those are the items that so wireless data logger, that's for you, for water production. Metering valve, water solutions also for you. So, yeah, 1, 2.
Well, I'm not a fan of text notes, but I know what you guys need out there, so you told me.
There you go. Thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you. Any other questions?
I tried to tell David to get a Ford Ranger, but he didn't think he'd pull the tractor.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he said no.
Just
yes.
kidding.
Yes.
If you buy one, then if we can buy a transmission the next week. It's going to go out.
Okay. All right.
Favor of the council?
Are we on B?
Yes.
Okay. I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-4462, authorizing the issuance of the City of Aransas Pass, Texas Tax Note Series 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to approve resolution number 2024-1055, authorizing the agreement from the True North Emergency Management for Disaster Debris Monitoring Service. Gary?
Yes, this is something from emergency management, and pretty much a housekeeping issue as far as debris removal, and we've dealt with this before, so it was a matter of asking if you have any questions or not.
Any questions? I make a motion to approve resolution number 2024-1055, authorizing the agreement from True North Emergency Management for disaster debris monitoring services.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Now we're going to approve the request from DNA Productions for the second annual salsa event to be held on November 22nd through the 24th, 2024. Public safety assistant and the temporary road closure of U.S. Highway 361 South Commercial between Goodnight and Yoakum from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Hello. Thank you for your time. My name is Donald Nesloney. I'm here this evening on the behalf of DNA Productions requesting our community's second annual Salsa Fest 2024, a free family event. This year I have some exciting news to deliver, more exciting than the $1,000 we gave to the food bank or the 170 fishing poles we gave away to our local youth at Fish Fest. Probably more exciting than the thousands of dollars in prizes or trophies. Tonight I'm proud to announce the Donald Nesloney Scholarship Fund. I will be donating 100% of my profits from chip sales at Salsa Fest in 2024. This scholarship is eligible to graduating students in 2025 who is from Aransas Pass High School and meets the criteria. I'm also really proud of everybody that came together last year for Salsa Fest, and because of you, great things are happening. So I truly thank you all. This year is going to be even better with a big name country artist that I can't wait to announce. And also this year will be a 2-day event, like the mayor said, from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. And we'd like to close portions of Wilson Avenue to use as a staging area, starting at 8 a.m. on Friday until Monday at 5 p.m. We'd also like to close commercial from Yoakum to Goodnight starting at 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. both days. We plan to hire the necessary security recommended by Chief Blanchard and carry all the required event insurance needed, the city tax dot, and alcohol sales. Beer and wine only. So let's get ready for a weekend of competition, live music, great food and drinks, all 100% free. With that, I'd like to turn over to the council and ask if you have any questions.
Wow, that's great. That's great. That's a new addition.
Yeah.
Oh, that event was awesome. Like I told you last, that was awesome.
The streets will be open and back up to.
Yeah, here it says 8 to 8.
8 to 8 for the highway closure or the event?
For the, what?
That's the information I had. Do you want it 10 to 10?
Yeah, I did discover a few misprints on the agenda tonight.
But you've already got all this.
Yeah.
Eric?
Chief Blanchard and I discussed closing the highway from, I believe, was it 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. both days?
Yeah, we have it all documented. We've been working with the group, and I think I kind of put Candace in a rough spot here because I didn't realize that I wrote this agenda item. I wasn't familiar with that, but apparently I did last year. I didn't know that I was supposed to do it this year, and she already had it ironed out. But yeah, he's been working with us with his team since the get-go in our events planning committee that we kind of coordinate through the chamber with to help incentivize and bring these to town. It was a great event last year. He's taken our suggestions. I know we had maybe some issues with liquor, and they said no more liquor, and I'm happy to hear he says the alcohol's free.
Oh, is it? I'll be there.
No, I'm kidding.
So you did say beer and wine only this
Yes, ma'am.
year? Okay.
And I guess as far as how you had it roped off between the sidewalks and the buildings, that's the only thing I heard from.
Yeah, well, this year, our lack of experience
I know.
showed a little bit last year, and we learned a lot of things.
Yeah.
And this year, we'd like to do just beer and wine and have an open event so people can come and go as they please without roping it off. That was a real hassle that we didn't know we were going to have to do.
Okay.
Have you received any feedback, positive or negative, from the business owners around it?
I have not received any negative, only positive.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
Sure, it helped everybody downtown.
Yeah, I believe it's been great for the community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've not
See you
heard
there.
anything negative either at either of y'all's events.
It was awesome. I'll be there again, sitting in the middle of the street at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I saw Jason there last night. He was there to support it. It was a lot of fun.
Favor of the council?
I make a motion to approve the request from DNA Productions for the second annual salsa event.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we're gonna go to
Thank you.
approve alcohol sales and consumption for the DNA Productions third annual Salsa Fest
Second.
event at US Highway 361 South Commercial, Aransas Pass, Texas, on November 22nd through the 24th, 2024.
Do I need to say anything?
It's
not free, Eric.
Same thing that Donnie just talked about.
Basically, we're going to put on an event,
Yeah,
and
it's the second, but it says third.
that's a misprint, but that's okay.
I saw that.
Well, I make a motion to approve alcohol sales and consumption for the DNA Productions second annual Salsa Fest event.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you guys so much for your support and continuing to.
Thank you.
We're going to go to appoint or reappoint members to serve on the Planning and Zoning Commission. And Ms. Carol Salinas and Debbie Hughes.
Yes, any questions? Make a motion to reappoint members, Carol Salinas and Debbie Hughes, to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Now we're going to go reappoint members to serve on the Zoning Board of Adjustments. William Everback and Cynthia Miller.
I make a motion to reappoint Bill Everback and Cynthia Miller to the Zoning Board of Adjustments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're going to go to approve rescheduling the September 2nd, 2024 regular city council meeting to Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024 due to a city holiday, Labor Day.
I make a motion to approve rescheduling the September 2nd regular city council meeting to September 3rd, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favorite words?
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Boy, that's what I'm talking about.
Thank y'all for hanging out with us so long. That was a long one.